But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Keep it going. Some privilege and a blowing. Hold it down for the Bay, reppin' Oakland.
It's all a fugazi.
And you know the difference between me reading your papers now and me reading your papers 10 years ago is that now I know when I read it. 10 years ago, I didn't know when I read it.
It's no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real.
Right?
It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Elemental chart.
And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies.
Carrying a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read.
No, you ain't the champ. Hey, listen, don't make me embarrass you. I don't want to embarrass you. How you gonna do that? Embarrassing. How you gonna do that? You the champ. You go fight more than 4,000 people live. 1 more people in training.
40 years old carrying a school bag. The man doesn't even fucking read.
And Dad tried to teach me of my brothers. Never try to be better than someone else. Always learn from others. And never cease trying to be the best you could be. That's under your control. I coined my own definition of success, which is peace of mind, attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable.
What do you both think about fear?
I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations. I'm here to live up to mine.
He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life.
Fear is a teacher.
And I don't skip class.
What are you doing?
Hmm?
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
Hey now. Hey now to you. Yeah. Hey now. Hey now.
Hey now.
Did I just nail the grail?
You just hit the grail.
Did I just nail the grail? Hey now, say now. Hey now, say now.
What's cracking? What's going on? This snuck up on me. This snuck up on me for sure. So I did my best to be prepared. We got Jeremy Lee coming in 6 o'clock. I'll try to take some calls. We have 2 voicemails. We'll try to maybe Collector Charles said later in the show. We're supposed to have Ty Wilson tonight. He had his wife had a baby yesterday. So congratulations on that. We have our bingo card here. I have a bunch of stuff I want to go over. I kind of want to get right to it. That's the most the show has ever snuck up on me. Grail Hunter, what's cracking? Sir Sponsalot is back, a member. Hey now. I'll make sure to get you down at the ticker if I don't have you there. Jeremy, what's going on? Jeremy Way Mouse. We'll have Jeremy Lee later tonight. Old World Photoshop. Sorry, Frank. I don't know what I'm doing. 702-483-7334. Is that right? 7344. Let me take a drink of water. About my day today, a little bit. They had rounds. So they had principals from other schools. My principal invited. We had the curriculum people, and they wanted to see our small group math. So, it went, I think it went just great. I think no problem, but it makes for that's a little bit more of I have 4 principals in my room at once. Kids did their thing. I did mine in a small group. It went very well, but it just makes for a little bit more stressful of a day. Anyway, 702-483-7344. The show's better with voicemails. Absolutely. We have 2. I think I want to do them early. Let's plan in the next 10 minutes to listen to both the voicemails. We got Jeremy Lee coming at 6. Next week, it'll be Ryan from GemRate. Very knowledgeable. Really looking forward to get, cracking. Yeah. How do I want to best put it? Get inside his head. See, he has a lot of knowledge, a lot of insight. Seems very reasonable when he speaks. So looking forward to having Ryan on. We have Neo will come on 5:30 to 6 because he goes off to off-centered. And then on the following Mondays, Greg Midlife, Junk Wax here, and I'll fill that 28th. What else do I have on the board here? $5 member. Hey, we got 2 new members. Thank you so much. Maybe more. I have not checked, but at least in the chat here as of yesterday, we'll do that bundle at the end of the month. Okay, I get the shirt by next week, guys, so I'll be able to at least show the shirt next week. It'll, here I'll be able, the reason I picked this company and the price are a little much because it's supposed to be good quality. I still haven't ordered one. This will be my first one. Let's see. I'm skipping all that. What you got? I hope we get a Ziggy. Where the hell's Ziggy been? I hope we get to talk to Charles, Mike, not sports cards. Frank, we need a little more Frank. Don't you agree? Am I wrong? I feel like we need a little more Frank. All right. Fanatics is making a credit card for collectors. By the way, let's do this early. Can you even hear this? Because I can hear it, but I think when I rewatch, I've seen a rewatch and you guys don't hear it. So I'm gonna play a sound clip, and in chat while we're still early here, tell me if you can hear. I don't know. Oh, this is not even mine. What is going on there? That was a good one. Let's just
say his name and he appears.
Can you hear that?
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Anybody in chat, can we hear that? Can we not hear that? Blue Red Master. I'm 5 minutes into the show. I mean, this is not going to work all the time. I think Blue Red Master, the best, you can hear it. Awesome. Blue Red Master, I think the best, I'm 6 minutes in. I think the best way to do this, my friend, is I will chat with you, but it will be towards the end of shows. So if you hang on until the end of Jeremy Lee, I have no problem putting you on for a minute, talking with you for a minute or two. I even won't cut you off and I'll let you go. But I'm not doing it this early. And he's gone. So I think he takes the hint. Fanatics is making a credit card for collectors. Yeah. How do I sign up? A Tate 2007. That's kind of expected from someone with the name Tate. It's going to cause people to get in more debt and some money. No, they don't care. They do not care. But this guy's right. I have it already. They've had one for a long time. You can buy things and pay monthly. It's been around a while. HGA breaks. Wanting to get more debt breaking? Let us help. I mean, I gotta, wake up a little, but this is terrible. I mean, Fanatics maybe they've had it for a while. You could tell me in chat, but how ridiculous. What's up, Helmet? Hash marks, Grail Hunters back, Penny Sleeve. Fresh Prince is here. Oh, we got Tokyo. I don't know. That's interesting. Nate, what's up? So many new names every night. That's very interesting. Fan cash rewards. Here it is. Don't do it. Let's just say that. Don't do it. Earn 4% cash back. It's definitely going to be a good idea to get that credit card. Real smart. They really care about you. No, they care about the business. They care about you going in debt. And they care about you continuing to buy the product. And it's really that simple. I had this. We watched a minute of it yesterday. I did not understand. Fanatics launches new global sports entertainment platform. I might want to do this. I mean, it's only 2 minutes, and I didn't even really get it. We didn't watch the second half, so it's 2 minutes. Let's start the show that way. After, let's see. Let's do voicemails early. Factory set versions are two. This is just, why are they trying so hard? That's kind of one of my themes of tonight, and that's something I want to talk about, Jeremy Lee, because I hate the marketing of the way sports cards is done right now. I hate the sensationalism, and why I don't understand why. It's just, why are you trying so hard? You don't have to sell that gold is something good to buy. You don't have to sell to certain stocks. You don't see this in many. This is a hard push, a hard sale, and it's not like they're continuing to push as hard as they can. But this is basically the face of the hobby right now, or everything they want to push. That's exactly it. Hobbyists spent more than $381 million on sports trading cards in December, according to Card Ladder. eBay was December's leading marketplace with over 297 million spent. That's interesting. You're telling me 297 million of the 381 million was spent on eBay. Dominating. Is Collect Media attached to eBay at all? Are these real? I would assume. Why would these numbers, this is what they're saying according to Card Ladder. Collectors spent more than that's a huge number. That's only what, 2/3, 3/4 of all card sales online be at eBay. It just dominating. Collectors spent more than 43 million at Fanatics Collect, more than 27.5 million at Heritage. It's surprising to hear Fanatics collected more in sports cards than Heritage, more than 14 million REA, nearly $13 million just December 2025. It just shows you, there's more hype and big money like Kevin O'Leary. How much of that 400 million does Kevin O'Leary make up for? How much is that 400 million, 381 million Shine make up for? How much is that 381 million Logan Paul and Ken Golden make up for? How much of it is the breakers trying to get inventory? I don't know, but that's what's going on. It's interesting to see eBay is such a dominating powerhouse. PSA president says current turnaround times are unacceptable. No shit. Let's see what he has to say. It's an unacceptable level, full stop, no excuses there. I mean, you had this done during 2021, and now here we are again without COVID, without people sitting at home, without people with the general public with free money in their pocket to spend, and somehow we're having the same problem. Day and night shifts, possibly AI grading. I don't know. They bought Gemimint. It's never talked about. They bought Gemimint in 2021, a grading AI service. And it just makes me speculate that in 30 seconds, that's a disservice to all of us. So not only does he want to pick up the turnaround time, well, how are you going to do that? Because you're already spending less than 30 seconds per card. So I think maybe Gemimint is not talked about enough. And I will also mention something else I didn't put up here, but at the same time they bought Gemimint, and I might do a video on this, I might not, I don't know, but they announced that they were going to have a 70-point fingerprint on every single card. That's what PSA said. PSA said they were going to have the capability to basically fingerprint every card. So even if it's not serial numbered, we're not serial numbered, we have a fingerprint, and that's how you can know all of us from one another. So that's what they said they had the capability of doing. And this was in maybe I'm getting my years wrong. It might have been 2022. I'm almost like 90% positive they bought Gemimint in 2021. But the point is, when they did this, they said they could they'd have a fingerprint on every card. And I don't want to mention that's 2021. Gemimint bought by PSA. What year was this? 2021, April 2021. PSA acquires Gemimint. And in this, they also mention how, they're going to end up getting a fingerprint on every card in 2021. Think about the advancements of AI in the past 5 years. I mean, it's incredible, the advancements in the past 5 years in AI. So to think they can't grade cards with AI, to think they're probably not already doing it somewhat, they say they're not. And people, in the interview, they said, now when I interviewed Rocco was a bit of a space cadet. Love you, buddy. And he is someone I spent 5 hours on the phone with. So again, you love it. He gave me my biggest interview of all time. And you can't find him anymore. His channel's gone. He's disappeared. There's no way to communicate with him. But he said in that interview that in the computer, in the system, it would show you in the order. If you go back to 30 cards, it'll flag 10 of them as being sent in again. I kind of challenged him on it. Well, how does that happen? That's a big news. Is it you only mean serial graded cards or serial number cards? And he kind of like flustered and didn't have a good answer and just got confused. He only worked there 4 or 5 months. But that, and then I kind of confirmed serial number, but he never mentioned anything. But I'm telling you, we're 5 years later, they fingerprint every card. Every card, they know it got an 8 in January, and it got a 6 last April, and it got a 9 in 2022, and it got a 4, and they're playing with you. This is all speculation, but it's probably not too far-fetched. It's 2026, and I think what they want to do is they want to somehow announce AI grading to you in the world and pretend like they're not already doing it. But PSA acquires Gemimint, introduces next generation technology, and maybe someone has more information on this. Maybe we can get a hold of Nat Turner decline coming on. But maybe someone can give us the straight story. What happened to Gemimint? It's 5 years later. AI's only gotten way better. You're spending 20 seconds per card. They're supposed to grade edges, corners, surface, and what am I missing? Edges, corners, surface, centering. So AI could take care of the centering real easy. So that skips up. So you're supposed to spend 5 seconds determining each corner. You're supposed to spend 5 seconds determining the surface. And this is 5 seconds determining the centering and 5 seconds on whatever the hell I didn't already say. Corners, borders. Okay. So how does that work? And that's supposed to decide whether your card is going to sell for 50 grand or 5 grand or 4,500 and 500. I'm going to look at chat because some of you might have more information on this than I do, but 30 seconds is ridiculous. You don't inspect and value a house or car in 30 seconds, and some cards are as valuable or even more. So it's all, as we say in the intro, Fugazi. That Logan Paul, Ken Golden, who there'll be more on him. There will be more on that. I'm going to save that one for myself for a video, but there will be definitely more on that. That card is a 9 at best. Everyone knows it. Everyone in the Pokemon community says it's off-center. It's obvious. There's no shame. There is no shame. It just looks better if it's a 10. Someone mentioned that like we're at the point where people are grading 1 of 1s. Why does it matter if it's a 10, 9, 8? It's the only one. And people will spend more if it's a 10 1 of 1 than a 9 1 of 1. That's just where we're at. But there's nothing different. Anyways, this Gemament, I'm saying it wrong. Genament, excuse me. I always thought it was I thought there was an M there. Genament. What happened to it in 2021? What happened to saying you guys say you're going to fingerprint every card? It's good for business. They're not going to survive. Look, here it is. They took on a lot of pots, and now they did that to try to bring in some more revenue, but they're going to lose money if they can't have people continue to regrade. And I am thinking, and this is just me through logic and some research, that yeah, bro, they got the fingerprinted cards. They know every card that comes in there. They know how often it's been graded, when it was graded last, every grade it's got, because they said in 2021 they were leading to that technology and it was coming. And now it's 2026. And we all live in modern day, maybe not United States, I know some overseas viewers, but you all live and you've all seen what AI has done in the past 5 years. It's night and day. So again, they're grading cards in 20 seconds. Another thing that points to this AI thing is they changed their grading standards, I believe, in 2022. I'm pretty sure they changed their grade. And so if you move to a more of an AI grading system or a new system, that's going to change your standards. Another one. And I know another one. I know they have, so many cards they have to get to, but you know what works 24 hours? AI. And do you know PSA has day and night shifts? They don't sleep, and neither does AI. So that's just my little take on do better. What's going on? You're not transparent. And what happened to Genament? What happened to the fingerprint? Acquiring and integrating Genament will allow us to grade more trading cards faster while improving accuracy. Wah, wah, said Nat Turner. We're not eliminating humans from the grading process, he continued. We're improving the process by adding technology. And this was 5 years ago. Anyways, it's a thought. It's something to think about, chew on. Genament, I wasn't even planning on going there. Fanatics, good old Fanatics, giving you a collector's credit card. Let's take a look. 2 minutes, then we'll do voicemails. Let's listen to this, then we'll do our 2 voicemails. This is Fanatics launches new global. We watched the first minute of this yesterday. I'm still a little confused. I still want to see what their plans are.
Digital sports platform Fanatics launching a joint venture with OBB Media to create Fanatics Studios. It's a new global sports and entertainment platform, already announcing projects and partnerships with ESPN, the 2028 Olympics in LA, Tom Brady, Fox Sports, and more. Let's bring in Fanatics CEO Michael Rubin, along with Michael Ratner, OBB Media founder and CEO.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, no. I do have to mention this and get this off my chest. I'm tormented soul as a sports fan. All right. All my life, I'm a Laker fan. My grandfather had season tickets in the 80s. I don't talk to my grandfather anymore, but he was a big timer. He had good tickets. I met Arsenio Hall when I was like 5 years old in front of me. Okay. I don't like LeBron James. I'm a Kobe guy. I was always Kobe until he retired. I was a Bay Area guy. I like Curry more than I've never been a LeBron guy. Of course, he's now on the Lakers longer than he was with the Heat, longer than he was with the Cavs. He won't leave. Been a Raider fan since, again, I'm 35 years. I was born in LA, they play in LA. I moved to the Bay, they go to the Bay. I go to Vegas, they're in Vegas. Season ticket holder. Tom Brady's the Tuck rule. Tom Brady is the nemesis. I came around after the Falcons comeback to just say, all right, he's better than Manning. It's hard, even if he's not better than Manning. It's hard to argue it at this point because Manning at the line was just like no other. But the point is, Tom Brady is now part owner of the fucking Raiders. And you want to go a step further? I love sports cards. And who has made his face be the face? Who have these guys chosen to be the face like Logan Paul for Pokemon? It's Tom Brady. So I am just a tormented soul when it can. Now I got it. Once LeBron leaves, see ya. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Like, goodbye. And now I'm stuck with Tom Brady for the rest. And the first year didn't look so good. I mean, he better look a lot different next year because the first year of the Tom Brady experiment in football with my Raiders looked terrible. And now he's got his face on sports cards. Ugh. All right, let's.
He will also serve as CEO of Fanatics Studio. Michael Rubin, I spoke to you 2 days ago on stage at the National Retail Federation and asked what other businesses you have coming. You kept this one under wraps. Tell us about it.
You know, I break so many things on your shows. Every once in a while, I need to keep something a secret from you. But seriously, look, we're super excited about this. People keep asking us two questions all the time. One, what's next for Fanatics? Exactly what you asked me Sunday morning in New York. And the second is, why are we not in the content business? And I think the reality is there's not a more strategic business for us to be in than the launch of the joint venture with OBB Media to create Fanatics Studios, to create content that's synergistic to each of our three big businesses today.
What is that? I want to know what that means. That's what we listened to yesterday. So listen, maybe you'll answer it in the second minute. I don't think the card people are big enough for them. They saw at Fanatics Fest, like, dude, these card people, even Arena Club Yahoo is bigger now. Flight Mike, we don't have enough sway. We don't have enough, not even the PI would never take it. The people that were at Fanatics Fest behind booths and were highlighted the first year were definitely not highlighted the second year. They were highlighting stars. They were highlighting athletes. And so I'm curious if their plan is to get, let's see what they have to say.
Fanatics commerce business, the betting and gaming business, the collectibles and trading card business. So we could not be more excited about this. We have an incredible slate that we're launching with. I think a lot of people launch businesses like this. They don't have a lot to talk about. I'm excited for Ryan to talk about all the big projects that we're already launching with.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just going to be a place where it'll be interesting to see how it works. People don't like to get pumped all the time. Like, people want real analysis. They want truth. They know when they're being sold something BS. So if they're going to take one angle, it's just, they're just going to do like, have you seen their Instagram or any of their social media? It's just pump. Hey, did you see this card sell for 60 grand? Yippee. Hey, look at this big pull. Hey, this little kid hit a card. You know, I mean, that's all it's going to be. Wow, you're going to make a whole studio, a whole 24-hour thing on this? I don't know what their plan is, but a whole studio based on, look at us. Look, it's Kevin Durant and Karl Anthony Towns opening a pack. Yay. Did I call it? Did I just call it? Let's make sure the 15-year-old kids see Kevin Durant opening a pack. Because I sure know it doesn't affect me. It only makes me roll my eyes.
Michael Rackner, maybe you can tell us about it. And just tell us a little bit how it works. So is the idea that they're sourced and developed in-house and then sold, the projects?
Combination of it all. What's going to enhance the fan experience is really at the core of everything we do. Of course, Michael touched on the three core businesses, but when you look at the slate already, partnerships with Tom Brady, like the Fanatics Flag Football Classic, that is a franchisable annuity that we plan to do year over year. Big live events is what we're interested in. We have partnerships with the WWE. That show makes the most sense for YouTube because, believe it or not,
like WWE, MLB, Fox Sports, they're not on every minute, every social media channel. We're the best. This is why you need to buy it. This is why it's so important. Look at this. Look at me. Like, none of the, if it's an established good brand, you don't have to do that. They don't do that. That's all you see in sport. Why are they trying so hard? And plus, I'm still fucking confused. They went on here, and I still have no clue really what they're talking about. Does this mean we're going to see Mojo at the Olympics breaking with Aaron Rodgers? Hey, Aaron's got nothing. Mr. Rogers has nothing better to do. Ugh, this is disgusting.
WWE has the 11th most subscribed YouTube channel in the world, over 100 billion.
And you don't, again, WWE is not coming out every show. We have the 11th most subscribers in the world. Bow down, buy our product. But that's what cards are doing. That's what Fanatics is doing. That's what social media is doing with it. They go look at their posts. It's makes me want to vomit.
Views. Something like the ESPYs, obviously long legacy at ESPN. That's going to be on ESPN. We want to meet the audience where they are. So we're going to go and take a bespoke approach to everything we're doing.
Really terrible interview. Okay. Let's do a couple voicemails. There's 100 people in here in the first 20 minutes. That's awesome. Thank you guys for being here. What do we got? We got Jeremy Lee coming on at 6. I want to do voicemails. Do I even have the voicemail thing here? And we'll do it like this. We do need more voicemails for next week. 702-483-7344. I'm going to take a quick look at chat. I saw this one. Did everyone see the filth bomb? Who was on here? Was it Charles? I guess Backyard Breaks, and Charles guessed filth bomb. I'm almost positive. So, win for Charles. Did everyone see filth bomb hit the top chase and Bowman draft on launch day? Huh. I mean, Charles predicted it yesterday. I'm almost positive. Collector Charles should debate Blue Red Master about 90s inserts. Gee, Frank. Let me handle it. You take care of the production process, some of the comments, the vibes. That would be the worst debate of all time. I agree with Fresh Prince. Hit the like button. There's over 100 people in here. Let's get 100 likes right off the bat. Why not? Let's make this the most liked show ever. Hit the like button again. Gorilla Farmer says. We have, Jeremy Lee comes at 6. Oh, I said voicemail. Stick to it. Come on, buddy. Come on. Here we go. Oh, and we got another one coming now. Awesome. I don't have my phone with me, so you're going to have to listen to it ring because I can't hang up on you there. I don't know why I don't have my phone on me, but I don't. That's how I know I'm locked in. I'm with you guys for 2 hours. I love it. We have a Kenny Effin, and then we have Dutch Boy. Let's hear Dutch Boy, a minute long, minute and a half. Let's go. He's going to give us a rant.
Professor. Man.
I'm going to pause that just to, me. I love it. When people hit me with last night, Rhonda's passion at the end, or when I talk to people and they give me that, that's the love right there. That is love. It's said in so many grunts or tones.
Professor. Man, this is a Dutch Boy here, trying to give you a little rant about Topps not telling us how many they're printing. They're doing that on purpose. Obviously, they've been doing it for a long time. Why don't they tell us how many they're printing? Because if they do tell us how many that they're printing, maybe they won't sell so much. I don't know.
Oh, I'll pause there. There's a minute left. I'll say that it takes away a lot of the illusion. If Scotty B could sit there with real numbers, or I could sit there with real numbers and break it down. Now, most people we went over yesterday. We're not a mass society at this point. It is so be it. I mean, it's just what the tests show across the globe. But yes, it would take away some of the illusion. It might make people think twice. Also, if they're giving some loaded product or this and this, you could really look into that a lot better. I went in to look on and that's why I made that video. The what was it? Chrome update, Topps Chrome update baseball with the filth bomb poll. You couldn't find odds on it. You go to their website where they're supposed to have all their odds. It's not there. Why? Well, because then we could do a little digging on why they're all hitting good product, or would they even be honest? I don't know.
Or maybe we won't buy it as fast, knowing that there's, 300 million of this one card. Or are we just going to, I don't know. It's like this set has 300 million. Oh, and then the next set that comes out only has 280 million of each card. Oh, maybe those are going to be more rare because there's 20 million less of them. I don't know. Why don't they just tell us? It doesn't make any sense. Just tell us. What the fuck? why not?
Yeah.
Is it going to hurt their sales? I don't think so.
Transparency.
Probably anything, the low printed ones will help sales. So I don't know. Maybe they're too scared to admit that they're printing sheets and sheets and sheets and then handing them out to their kids at Christmas. I don't know.
I don't know.
I love your
I don't
show,
know.
Prof.
Hey now, good call. Whew. Hey, I shot hoops for the first time yesterday. Couldn't move very well. I still, my ankle, foot. It's not really it's my foot, but I'm getting there. We're getting there. I can shoot pretty good off my left foot. I realized, it really sharpens my form. I'm focused on making good. So yeah, we got more arc on the ball. Good call. I think it's a great point. Who the hell knows? Transparency is not what they want. I mean, and that just proves it right there. We'll do our second call. This is 17 seconds from tonight. 17 seconds from just now. That's how let's hear it. Well, maybe let's not give it kudos until.
Prof.
There.
Was 8-1.
There it is again, bro. I'm liking that. I'm loving the love.
Prof. Was 8 Wonder Sports Cards. Got a hot take for you. What are your thoughts? Eric Michaels is the sports cards, like Dave Ramsey is the personal finance.
Don't give him that. Eric Michaels is just, he's come on, man. I'm moving on. Eric Michaels is the epitome of, he wants to sell you a course. Now he's trying to make it look sharper. He wants to go live in the morning. I don't believe his calls. I don't believe his views. I don't believe that's me. I study it. I look, I don't buy any of it. And if he's going to get big, hey, I mean, so be it. Why would he get big and it's not someone like Gio and Jesse on YouTube? Why all of a sudden would he do such big numbers out of nowhere? And you could said that about me and Mark. I know why for myself. I mean, I like this. Hey, I'll say it's about Eric Michaels. He's making it more YouTube. He's got a thumbnail. He's got a title, but he's just clueless when it comes to telling you genuine card stuff. He wants to sell. He wants to sell you a course. I think his most expensive course is in the thousands of dollars. I've had people comment on my stuff that they bought in and got screwed. We have a Kenny Powers who won Caller of the Year last year. Kenny Effin. So this is his first call for 2026. We'll do that. And then I have some haterade. I got some comments. I told you yesterday, the haters are around. They're around. Trust me. So let me prove it. But let's do our last voicemail. Kenny Effin.
Hey, Prof. Kenny Powers here. 2026. First call of the year. Just wanted to thank you. I got in the Aaron Judge photos or signed photo today.
Hey, now we'll send a thanks to Gio also. His last show here, he ripped that for us. I think it was a $250 product that he ripped for us. It was a photo, not a card, but he pulled an Aaron Judge auto at a 25. So then he ripped a second. He's like, you keep that. I'm like, I'm not keeping it. So we gave it to Caller of the Year. The second was a Roman Anthony, I believe is his name. Boston. Anthony Roman. I'm adding two first names. I'm going to screw it up. I haven't watched a ton of Boston baseball. No, I don't prospect. So crush me on that. But that's who we pulled the second time. We sent that out to Jimmy 81. Let's listen to the rest of this.
Everything was packed really well. Again, I appreciate the opportunity. I thank Gio again for offering that and sending it to you. And I thank everybody that voted. I really appreciate everyone's enjoyment out of my silly ass calls. Guess the only thing I have to say about current content creators, Jeff getting his lubed up Josh Luber award for the Mantle Awards that he was a part of voting on. The thing's a 2 foot long piece of shit vinyl piece of shit, just like Professor showed with Luber's little Ghostwrite things that are like 2 inches tall and sell for supposedly $100. Pac-Man sucks them all for it. But I think that award isn't going to be in Jeff's office. It's probably going to be sitting on his mantle at home for when Kim threatens him with his when he's being a cuck. But that's between him and Kim, I guess. I'm just having fun making fun of that stupid ass goof. Oh, also him and his $1,000 pack, 1970s top baseball pack. More stupid ass shit. All right. Well, everybody take care. Bye.
Hey, Kenny Effin, good to hear from you. Great call. More of that. I can't believe we're 35 minutes into the show. How does that even happen? I mean, I feel like I've been talking for 5 minutes. I don't even know. That's crazy. My mind was a million places. Let's see. I have more. We did the PSA. President says current turnaround times are unacceptable. Prove it. Prove it with words. No. What else? Oh God, Jesus. I have three slides here on just discuss. Yeah, this guy, our good friend Kurt's Card Care. This is what it's led to, right?
Wood ones with the
No, try this one first.
shows. Tell people what you do. Don't keep it a secret. It's already.
Trust me. Oh,
Just tell people what you do. Don't keep it a secret. It's already mainstream. Nobody cares at this point.
Yeah, nobody cares nowadays.
Nobody cares that these guys watch
and fix stuff, bro. I bring my equipment to my booth now, and people are asking me, "Can you fix this? Can you fix?"
I care. The people that don't care want to go sell it. I care. Some of us do care. This guy wants to pretend nobody cares. This guy wants to pretend fixing up cards at a show, everyone's doing it, and it's all good. This Poke Master Center, whatever the hell. And you just listen. Ugh.
That dude, I've fixed cards for people and then they've sold it at the same day in the show. I remember there was like a lifted edge, right? Like a simple lifted edge,
and then this it just make it. It's not what any of the old hobby heads would have wanted. It's not what any of us love. If you're my age, I'm 40 or older, there's no way you want your cards touched up. There's no way you think, and some people, it's a controversial issue. It's kind of, you always get the cleaning bros out at this point, but no, leave the cards alone. And this is why Kurt's Card Care and Minty, who I guess Minty's not doing it anymore. This is why I don't like their stuff. It just normalizes it, and it's not cool.
like a straw Giovanni's card tool, and bam, fixed it. And he was like, whoa, dude, it's not rocket science. Somebody actually left a comment.
You're right. It's not. It's just a way to beat the system, I guess. Scam the system, scam people. I guess if you like label it as, yeah, we worked on it, I wouldn't have a problem. To be like, if you're going to label a card and say, yeah, I soaked it and I fixed it up, and some buyer out there will be willing to pay for it, but not me. And some wouldn't be. It wouldn't be as in demand. So in every card you want to sell that you fixed, make sure you disclose it. And they don't, I would assume.
And I'll always encourage you guys to go after stains like this.
He'll always encourage you to go after those stains. Exactly. One and the same, these two guys. No. All right. We did a lot in the first 35 minutes there. I just got right to it. I don't even know what the hell we were talking about. We did a lot in the first 35 minutes. We had a few voicemails. We got Jeremy Lee coming on at 6 o'clock, which is apparently 20 minutes from now. You want to look at some robberies. We got 4 Houston area collectible stores broken into. This was 7 days ago. And then we have 8 days ago, customer robbed at gunpoint for rare Pokemon worth $300,000. You got footage of that? Hold on now.
2 separate cases. Thieves are going after Pokemon cards. No arrests have been made in either incident.
As Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia explained,
I want to get to some comments also.
Hundreds comments. Of thousands of dollars.
He was just leaving, trying to go home.
Last night at the RWT Collective in West Los Angeles, one of the regulars was robbed at gunpoint in the building's underground parking lot. Danny Lesserman and Christopher Chow co-own the collective. They shared these images of the 2 men. When LAPD detectives showed up, were told the victim positively ID'd these men as the 2 who robbed him. The owners tell me they're already working on adding more security.
We're going to keep increasing our security systems too. We're going to get more cameras into the building, things like that.
There was evidence of that today. Property manager.
That guy was awfully chill about it. I'm not saying in any case this way, but you see so many robberies. How many of them? I'll tell you a story about that grandpa, my grandpa with the Laker ticket. So I haven't spoken to in 25, 30 years. But there's stories of what, he was rude. He owned a diamond business and he had his diamond business robbed. My mom at gunpoint. She didn't know. And they hid the diamonds under the carpet in the house. The detectives came, they didn't find the diamonds under the carpet in the house, and that's called insurance fraud. And you know what? That some of this is insurance fraud. It just is. And I'm not saying here, but this guy was awfully like, he was awfully, that's an awkward little interview.
Security.
We're gonna keep increasing our security systems too. We're gonna get more cameras into the building, things like that.
There was evidence of that too.
Things like that. No big deal. $300,000 card, someone at gunpoint. No big deal. Anyways, I mean, I'm not saying anything, but some of this, it's happened way too often for you not to think some of it is insurance fraud.
Today, property management had a crew this morning installing surveillance cameras in the parking area and around the building. The owners also say they're working with property management on having armed guards at the store and the building. We're told the approximate.
What it's coming to, the value of these things, the robberies every day. You're going to start walking in. It's you're going to have some bouncers, some weapons, some military.
The value of the Pokemon card stolen at RWT Collective is around $300,000. There's been a string of similar robberies in Southern California. Also over the weekend, burglars broke into a Simi Valley store, taking with them valuable Pokemon cards. What makes these game cards so valuable?
Most of the time they're used and they're not,
Dang.
you know, in the good.
Dang, not just where we're at. Just where we're at, and it's nonstop. It happens every day. You could find news stories about this weekly, if not every day. This is in LA, and we're gonna watch the other one. It said 4 card shops were hit, and this is in Texas.
Enough quality to be considered collectible, and so when they do raise to that level, that's when the dollar amount.
All right, shut up. Yeah, so I want to watch the other one. Before that, what else? The CIA auction with the Rodman. It has this Jackie Robinson too. Now the Jackie Robinson and a PSA 4 last sold for 15 grand, down from 25 grand. The volatility on these cards are ridiculous. 12.5, 14, 12, 16. I don't know. So between 10 to 16,000, and it's currently at 7. Now, obviously it's 4 days left, but the Rodman, it went up since I last saw 5,200. I saw earlier today at 3,800 when I was setting up for the show. So there's been a bid. This card should sell. I mean, in an 8, it sold for 18 grand, something like that. So I'd assume there'll be a late push, but I won't be on again until next week on Tuesday. So this sale will have ended. So we'll take a look at what the final price is. But I did want to see the Jackie, many more sales in that Rodman. It's about I'd say between 10 to 20 is a bit high, but maybe. So we'll follow that. CIA Auctions, thank you for sponsoring the lives, the channel, the Jackie Robinson. Okay, so that's that. I wanted to get to a few comments. We got Jeremy Lee coming on in about 15, 20 minutes. Let's see. I wanted to get to a few comments. Buy Scooble now or no? It's the hype is real. So, I mean, if he's going to pitch like that again, if you believe he's going to have another, subpar 2 ERA or some crazy ERA, and dating Livy Dunn helps also. He gets more publicity that way. She gets love. You connect him to him. She's at a game. It does. Now, she's not a gymnast anymore, but she's still a big social media person. So, I mean, I don't know, I don't like the prospect, Uncle Jorms. Buy Scooble now or no? Chat could probably better tell you. I'm not buying Scooble now. There's a risk. But sure, if he has another great season, you see what's happening. You see what's happening. Ninja Squirrel says T-Wolves, my tip for NBA championship, away from big finance teams, maybe. Great young team chemistry. McDaniels, Edwards, DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo's not that young. So I get your point. Scorers are two-way players. The West is a monster. Anthony Edwards has had all the options last few years and proven no, he hasn't been able to get over the hump. And I don't think they've changed the team enough. And maybe you'll tell me they have, but I don't think the dynamic changed there enough. That Oklahoma City team is far and above a better team than you want to talk about team basketball. They don't even play that 3-point game that everyone else plays. So no, I still, if they can get past OKC, all right. But I would take OKC and some other Joker's still around. So anyways, I think the West is really tough to predict. Did you see Cards Max is going to debate Jeff Wilson, douche versus juice? I was going to mention that today. We're going to see a debate. The biggest live of all time for us, views wise, was the hype of SCV versus Geo. And it didn't happen that night. And it's still the biggest viewed live after the fact. So debates are there. You heard it here first about debates. No one's debated. I've thrown it out there. Maybe I need a moderator here and bring someone on to debate. Maybe we should do a debate here. We could definitely do that. I don't know who Cards Max is, to be fair, Hobby Champs. I'll check him out. You should play his tweet about it, Prof. Card Max is his account. I've never even heard of Card Max. Let's see who this guy is. Let's just do it here. Cards Max. Let's look him up real quick. Cards Max. 7,000 subs. Debate.
Oh, we're not going on a date. We're having a debate, and I'm going to smother him. Jeff went to my favorite war ground, which is twitter.com, to try to find worthy fighters to debate him. And surprise, surprise, I was the people's choice because I am the people's choice. Don't give stupid suggestions. Don't give really dumb takes, but give me some really good, interesting topics for Jeff. Specifically, some of his worst takes of all time, because I'm pretty good at dismantling them. I'm pretty pinpoint.
Ask why he's on his hands and knees when talking about PSA. You were picked because of your status in the hobby, but also because you're perceived as someone who won't grill him on shilling for PSA, in my opinion. I know you agree with him about a lot, but it would be funny if you played devil's advocate on a few topics. So like someone in the chat mentioned douche first douche. It sounds like this guy's they're going to agree on a lot. That doesn't make for a good debate. Maybe they won't. And, if you're going to start running debates, the channel to debate, the guy to debate is on your screen right now. And that's the truth. So if you want to have a debate, someone said I'll be too emotional, hockey. This is my channel. I got viewers. Some of it's entertaining. Some of it is I'm emotional. It's time and place. Time and place. You've never seen me in a debate. You don't know how I would do in a debate. You've never seen me prep for a debate. You think I'm going to go and yell and scream nonsense? No. I also wouldn't grill him on bad takes. I'd want to question him on a lot of things currently. Jeff's got a million bad takes. Go if this guy watch Sports Card Radio or my channel, you'll find many of them. But he's not going to do research. He's asking his chat. I don't know who this guy is. Cards Max. Let me take a look at your comments. Will Greer. Will Greer. Yeah. Terrible. All right. I think it's terrible. Tummy rubs, maybe. Tummy rubs. Interesting. Good take. So let's see if I can get to everything else before we go. We were going to do 4 Houston Areable collectible stores broken into. It'll be Jeremy in about 12 minutes. Sports Card Live. He's got the hobby spectrum. I have questions. I want to ask Jeremy, basically talk to him about all the things that bother me and see what he's got to say.
Well, this video here caught on camera burglars breaking down the wall of a collectible store and taking off with thousands of dollars worth of Pokemon cards. And this isn't the only store hit in the Houston area. Fox 26's Jillian Hartman spoke with the owner of this store in the Richmond area.
Well, at least 4 collectible stores have been broken into, and we learned thieves are going after highly priced Pokemon cards. The most recent case happened here at SJ Cards in Richmond, and it was all caught on camera. Thieves are seen on surveillance hitting SJ Cards along Plantation Drive. An employee says they actually broke into the business next door, cut a hole through the wall to get inside their store.
So they didn't break in through the front, they didn't break in through the back, they broke in through the side, which is just, devastating because we were only open for 2 weeks. First 2 weeks open and already we were hit.
3 other stores in Katy and Cypress have been targeted too.
Wouldn't it make for a great story if it was like a competing card shop or competing rivals? This is what's happening between step on our turf in 2 weeks. We're going to get you. I know it's a fun story, make believe, but fun.
Bulls was hit twice. Pokemon valuables were taken. Omega Gaming had a bulk of Pokemon cards stolen. Sports collectibles were also targeted. Autographed jerseys and signed balls were stolen at Ferguson Brothers.
It's crazy. It's very scary.
The price tag for the items taken overall is in the tens of thousands of dollars, especially for Pokemon cards. Here's why.
Pokemon is super popular more than ever, right? And it's very expensive, unfortunately. And what kind of money these cards are worth these days, these Pokemon cards, 400, 500,
Pokemon.
675. But these are just so easy to make away with. And then to resell stuff like this would be so easy to take to most stores or put online. So that's the dangerous part about it.
At this time, authorities are working to see if the cases are connected. Meanwhile, owners are warning other stores who are now putting up extra safeguards to protect their business. Katie Cards and Collectibles is beefing up security, like adding a steel wall and more.
Because of what's going on in the area, we actually are paying an armed guard to stay here on the overnight shift.
Pokemon.
Right now, both Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office and the Harris County Sheriff's Office are investigating these.
So I don't think anyone's been arrested in either. There was 2 or 3 in LA last week, 4 here in the Houston area. It happens every day. It's something definitely not talked about enough. It happens almost every day. You can find a news story on it. Luka leading the league with 33 points per game. I don't think it'll mean playoff success as a Laker fan. Tyrese Maxey, a few years back, he shined, and then he had 76ers had a couple bad years. Maybe it was one bad year. It gets meshed together, and he was forgotten about. And all of a sudden, he's a great player. I mean, absolutely terrific. Jokic, almost 30, and Mitchell, again, almost 30. Jokic with, 29.6 points per game, 12.2 rebounds. Cat with 11.4. He's opening sports cards, ridiculous. Gobert, your Minnesota Timberwolves, 11.4. The Lakers, Magic Johnson was our GM for about 2 months, and one of the worst decisions he made, GM, whatever he was, operations, some shit, he traded Zubac for pennies, for nothing, for absolutely nothing. Disgusting. Cade Cunningham almost averaging 10 assists. That's crazy. Joker has 30 points a game, 12 rebounds a game, 11 assists a game. That is... Yeah, he needs another chance. If he can win another championship, he could put his name next to Shaq and Kareem. Kareem had 6 titles. Wilt, Bill Russell with 11. So you got to win more than one. But if he can, he passes the eye test. He's one of the best big men passers of all time. And now he's going to average a triple-double with 30 fucking points for a season. For a season. That's insane. This stupid poly market. What could you bet on today? U.S. strikes Iran by January 17th, by January 23rd. It's ludicrous. You can bet on some of this stuff, and they're not calling it betting. It's a predictability market. You're betting against other people. Portugal president election. Who will Trump nominate as the Fed chair? It's actually semi-close, interesting, between the top 2 leaders. Fed decision in January. U.S. next strikes Iran on. You can go buy Bitcoin, or you could just gamble on the price. What will you don't want to wait? What price will Bitcoin hit in January? Just bet on it. JD Vance, currently the leader. And if you're not happy with that, it's Marco Rubio in second. It's going to be Gavin Newsom or Alexia Cortez here. What did I say? Is not her name wrong? I don't know. Unbelievable, man. I'm not excited for voting. I haven't been excited for voting in quite a while. Disgusting. We got about 7 minutes to Jeremy Lee. I filled out the hobby spectrum, so I have a couple of pieces of notes or feedback from me. I want to hear more about his insight. What it was, his 50 questions is interesting. I thought I'll wait to share my thoughts with him on, but Jeremy Lee will be coming on into Sports Card Live. I would argue that we're 2 of the currently, obviously Sports Card, when they come on, they normally do very well, but currently we're 2 of the bigger lives, if not the biggest lives in sports cards. They're much different. They're not even close to the same. We have different views, different thoughts, and I'll take you through some of the questions I want to go over with Jeremy Lee. So let's see. That's the notes. I don't think we'll say eye to eye. Yes. The way the product's marketed, I can't stand. And it's almost like they're trying too hard. Feels like an illusion. And I want Jeremy, who's more inside. He seems like he's on the fence of a hobby and industry. It's hard for me to place him in which category. It's tough. The people we have on feel like industry people. New PSA business model. So we're giving him, if he's watching, we're giving him a little heads up. Auction house terms of service. He clearly has a lot of knowledge on that. I can't stand the mystery pack angle, sensationalized nature of the current hobby, the overprinting. It's not, in my opinion, they're not thinking about long-term success of this product. They're thinking about the now. And then, of course, the gambling aspect. And then we'll take questions from chat. If you have questions for Jeremy Lee over the next 30 minutes, 40 minutes, make sure you throw them in the chat. I'm looking at chat right now to see if I have anything interesting. Grail Hunter says he ranked 24 nostalgic. So that was one of my things. I ranked in when I log in, it automatically logs me in. I logged out from this one. That's something I want to tell him. And maybe he knows, maybe he doesn't, maybe it doesn't matter. But I logged out on the screen here so it wouldn't show. I don't want to show anything he doesn't want to see. But then it also logged me out on my other account, which I guess I could go there now and just keep this what is it called? The hobbyspectrum.com. So I'll go to that here. Let me sign in. And that way I can tell you, because I actually also, I was 30 nostalgic, and that was my highest, but it put me at a different category. And maybe that's how it's supposed to, I don't know, but it put me as whatever the other 30, something I was a little less of. And I don't remember, and this is part of the reason I was struggling to get to the, make the show on time and do it all and be prepared, because I was filling out this survey and trying to take notes on that. But let me log in real quick. So I was 30 nostalgic and 26% precisionist, but it labeled me as precisionist. Maybe that's how it's supposed to. But maybe not. My archetype was more nostalgic, but it gave me precisionist, and maybe so. I mean, maybe that's just how the algorithm works. I should be very close. 11% purist, 22% hybrid. I thought the questions, it was a fun enough survey. It went by fast. It didn't feel like 50 questions, but obviously this is stuff I'd like to tell him in 5 minutes. So Jeremy will be on in 5 minutes. Looking forward to chatting with him. See what do you got? What do you got? Prof for the first month free at Card Ladder. Card Ladder, thank you for sponsoring the show. A few people have asked to send me stuff open. I have to go check it. I think there's some Garbage Pail Kid stuff waiting there. But 10470 West Cheyenne Avenue, Suite 115, PMB 162. Holy shit, that's a mouthful. Anyways, pause that, screen that, go back there. You want to send anything. I saw Trike over the weekend. That was fun. Did a deal. I brought a bunch of cards I've been holding for a year, had for a long time. Hard to move on from the West 8. It is hard to move on from the West 8, but it just, it's never gonna garner any value. So that's about everything I had. I wanted to look the way we could do this in the next couple minutes. These are just recent sales. I thought it would be fun to look through some. So you have a Wemby 2025 26 top chrome basketball Ray Wave refractor. You got refractor selling for $6. You fucked up the market. I mean, that's it. A refractor selling for $6 of Wemby is selling for $6. So, of course, you just fucked up the market. That's what happened here. And that's why, it's watered down. They're continuing to make this every year. Refractors are going to mean nothing if one's selling for $6 because there's a million others, and they fucked up the market, man. You have, again, they want to push the 90 insert Jordans. Here's one, a PSA 9 sold for $60. So it just is very curated. It's very hand selected. You could have thought this is the one, and this one hasn't done exactly what you thought it would, because it just sold for $65, not $65,000. So what makes this Jordan insert? This is not an insert. All right. The Emotion. Is this this is his base from that year? 1994 Emotion Michael Jordan. So it's a Skybox Emotion. Sold for $65.09. So, all right. Anyways, what makes this 65 and another one 65 grand? You tell me. They have a piece of his hat in it. Oh my God, there's a piece of his hat. That must make it worth thousands, because there's a piece of his hat. Like, anyone's gonna give a fuck. Jesus, but somehow they promote it as if so. Oh God, I played this game back in the day. I don't remember foils, but interesting. It doesn't have a year on it. 90s for me. I played some Magic the Gathering. What else? Recent sales. Here's a Jordan for $40. SPX record breaker. $40 die cut. Super pretty. Beautiful call. It's a 5. I'd be curious to know what that goes in a 9 or 10, but in a 5 is sold for $40. I bet. What's the difference between the 5 and the 10? That would be very interesting. Let's type that in. Upper Deck record breaker Jordan. Now I'm curious. So we see it in a 4 or a 5 for $40. What does a PSA 9 sell for? No results. PSA 10. No results. PSA 7. Oh, shit. What's wrong? SPX. That's the 5. 96, 97. Upper Deck. Just get rid of Upper Deck. Record Breakers. Michael Jordan. And there's like no sales of this thing. A 6 went for $17. A 7. And I mean, that should be it. Record Breakers. Jordan. PSA 7. Can you think of anything else messing it up? 1996, maybe? No. So that's interesting. Go buy yourself this card. There must be something holding back a better search. I can't imagine it's that rare. And if it was, it would probably sell for a lot more money. Interesting. Maybe that's our first question to Jeremy Lee. He's got Cajun cardboard on all the time. What's up with his Jordan? Am I looking it up wrong? If we get rid of Record Breakers, 29 of them. Let's get rid of PS. Perfect timing. Mr. Jeremy Lee, how you doing?
What is up, Jason? How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, dude. I'm good. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm happy you're here too. We had a 2-hour conversation, and then you surprised me one live and you dropped some great knowledge. You know, I'm researching this Jordan card here real quick. Record Breaker. I just can't find much SPX Jordan stuff. Any knowledge on? I know that's putting you on the spot, but I don't know why.
Sorry, what's Quet? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Sorry about that. On the screen, just before you called, we were just looking at recent sales, and we ran into this card on the screen, the 1996 SPX Jordan Record Breaker. And in a 5, I saw it for $40. So then I was curious, okay, what's it sell for in a 9, a 10? What's the gap? Because that seems awfully low for a Jordan 90s card. And I couldn't find a 9 or 10 or 8. Maybe it's in my... So I don't know. Is the SPX just rare? Am I mistyping it? And we can move on from that. I mean, it's boring and not... Yeah.
I think it's just a base card. I don't know much about that card, no. I was never a big fan of those big hologram cards.
I'm just...
like those, yeah.
Oh, there's 9,000 results of this one, so something happened. All right, we'll move on from that. Mr. Jeremy Lee, I checked out your site today. Thank you for the code. I enjoyed the survey, man. I thought you put together, I think these are my notes. My archetype was more something else, so I don't know if it should have been that. Is that how the algorithm, so I was 30%, let me get it up. I was 30% nostalgic and 26% precisionist, but it gave me a precisionist archetype. Is that correct? It's real close.
That's I need to see that. That's not what there might be something going on that I'm not aware of. My developer is out of office this week, so I'm not sure what you saw. I'd actually really like to see a screenshot of that if you could send that to me separately, because it's only supposed to give you one archetype and one score total, just one simple score. But if I don't know, maybe he did something behind my back and gave it
I
more,
liked the breakdown. So he has a breakdown of the distribution of everything I am, which I like, but it just didn't label. I figure whatever's the highest, I probably am, or that would make the most sense. But yeah, no, I found the survey really neat. I will send you that screenshot. Log out. Oh, I logged out on my screen on this one and it logged me out on the other one. So I don't know. That was a little, I'm just giving tiny notes, I'm not hating or anything.
same browser.
It was a similar browser. It was, yes. But normally if I close it here, it won't log me off there,
Yeah. So that's probably what happened. Yeah. There's no passwords. It's more of one of those, you'll get emailed the confirmation code.
Yeah. Which I don't hate. I like that, so I don't have to remember password. And I enjoyed the survey. I thought the 50 questions flew by. I also, the last take is, it's a pretty ambitious and outside the box idea. So kudos for that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah.
What gave you this? How long has this been a thing? How long have you been in this project? And yeah, how long have you been in the project?
It's about 9 months now, I'd say. It started because just on Sports Cards Live, we always talk about, collectors and investors, and everyone falls somewhere in between. I thought one night, hey, after doing my show, I thought it'd be pretty cool to take that abstract concept and build a framework around it. And this is what it's led to. So really organic, just out of doing live streams.
Some of it is that you get to, after your survey, if you want, I think the way I understand it is you could throw some of your social media accounts on there and you could connect probably with anybody, but the idea is to connect with similar people in the hobby as you.
Yeah, you can opt into what we're calling the Spectrum directory, and it's going to have your name, your score, your archetype, and then you can link all your socials, all your hobby platforms, any websites, whatever it is you want. Even if someone has been a guest on your show, let's say, but they maybe don't have their own podcast or YouTube channel, they could link to that episode, and that's a way that people could get to know them better. It's like, hey, check, it's a way to check out more people and see how they approach the hobby. So it's really about discovery, like discover your hobby identity, discover like-minded and similar collectors, and then discover and then be discovered as well. We're going to be adding in a whole bunch of more search and sort filters that are going to be add a lot of utility to the platform.
Okay, so 9 months is you got to it quick. That's pretty fast. Yeah, is there any, I want to give you a moment to maybe talk about it more, and then I have I want to move, I kind of want to take it another way, but I didn't know how much you wanted me to show it, so I was uncomfortable, putting the site up because I didn't know how much you wanted people to see it yet.
Yeah, like right now to see it, you have to have an access code. That's simply because we're slowly rolling it out. We're making changes. If you saw the email I sent you, we're asking for feedback on what you're seeing. And so that we can, tweak it a little bit and make it as relevant to as many people as possible. So I think we're going to be out of this phase at the end of the month. And I'm just waiting for us to develop one more function before we kind of take the gate off, and then it'll just be open to the public. As you saw, Jason, you do the assessment. You get your archetype, but you also get a pretty long description, and that's something that I'm just kind of trying to keep off social media for now, because those are going to be tweaked. So I just don't want there to be like an old version out there, let's say, before we are comfortable with this thing really working as well as it can and as well as we want it to. So that's the only thing. But you can show the main page. You can show, it's really just your own results. The bottom part that I'd rather you don't, but you can show the main page, the about, the directory. The directory is really, I think, where the magic is eventually going to be.
I haven't even looked at directory, so we could do that real quick. Let me throw it over. So here are can I show the different archetypes?
Those are, I've already posted those all over like my Instagram and the Instagram for the Hobby Spectrum account too. Yeah.
So purist collects for connection, nostalgic collects to remember. And here was, before I go, I was like, okay, I don't need anybody to tell me what I am, but I found it interesting. I didn't hate the write-up. I found it interesting to read about what
I'm glad you didn't hate it. It's really just about putting some language around it. It's not about telling you what you are. Most people, if not everybody who's given me feedback, has said that it gave them the response that they were expecting. So that kind of tells me that it's working for the most part. And by working, I just mean that people are enjoying it. They're finding that it does make sense, and that's really all I can ask for, is that it does. It is resonating with people, so that's really cool.
I did enjoy the 50 questions flew by. So nostalgic is what I was the most, which is driven by sentiment and memory, guided by personal history rather than market trends or value. That's pretty accurate. And then I was also quite a bit precisionist, which is selective and intentional, driven by standards and intention, selecting cards that align with their collecting vision. So I think that's pretty accurate for me. Yeah, I do.
Something important is that, there's only 7 archetypes. And I mean, a lot of people are probably thinking, and I think it myself, like, oh my gosh, there's a million ways to approach the hobby. And there's probably more than that. This is about identifying your core archetype. But the truth of the matter is we all dip our toes into, or at least many of us dip our toes into more than just one of them. I'm a precisionist by the survey, but I do things I have tycoon behavior, operator behavior, and purist behavior as well. So it's really about identifying the core, and we're going to be adding more things as well to it down the road.
You said that this, I'm going to click directory. So, oh shit, I don't know. Michael Ham, our boy, a precisionist. Okay. So anyways, this is the directory here where you can see others.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you kind of scroll, you can search at the top, like right here, just if you stop anywhere and you click on, like Ripper there, the 27 nostalgic, as you can see, he's got his Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, eBay and whatnot accounts all linked. If you click anywhere in the blue there, if you click, yeah, it'll take you right to their Instagram. So now you can find people to connect with. If you just want to curate your online experience, maybe not a card account, but if you go back to the directory itself and you click on the word nostalgic, for example, on any of those light blues, it'll filter just to the and then if you click on one of the numbers like the 27 or the 23, it'll filter so you can see everyone who's kind of in the same archetype and the same score itself. You can hit clear all just at the bottom of the cert right there, and you can sort by score, by join date, by name, if that makes any sense to you. And we're adding some really cool functionality to this where you'll be able to also indicate like players you collect, teams you collect, sports you collect, and then you can find people who collect the same players as you and things like that.
I believe I can't find my total score. I believe I got a 38, which is right there with Michael Hamm, a 39. And man, very well. Yeah, interesting. I think it's interesting, ambitious. Who the hell knows? I think it's outside of the box. Yeah, very interesting. Anything else?
Probably not going to be for everybody, but it's something for people who like to think about how they, it's about mindset, motivation, and behavior. That's really what it comes down to. So.
All right, let me go to what I have here. Okay. I don't think maybe you'll surprise me. I don't think we'll see eye to eye on some of this, but I think it'll be fun. I'm curious what you think about some of this stuff.
Sure.
So my first one is what bugs me more than anything is the way it's marketed, the way the product is just push. So my question is, why do you think they market the product so hard? And to me, they're trying so hard. It's almost they're selling it. You don't have to be told when it's a good product so hard. So it just bugs me some of the way it's marketed and advertised.
Well, I mean, I don't even know what you mean by marketed so hard. Like, give me an example of the marketing that you think is trying too hard.
Just constant social media. If you go to Fanatics website or their social media, every day there's 2 or 3 posts of look at this or this big card or wow, did you see this kid pull this? Or then you have the break, some of the guys at the show where they're making sure everyone sees that they give a kid a free card, or how Arena Club had Jeff Wilson hit and Jim Rome hit the Jordan on camera, how Trout hits a Trout on autograph. It's to me, that's a marketing campaign that just shoved in our face.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, it comes down. It's exactly it. It's marketing. These guys are all about shareholder value, and they're about sales and revenue and profit. That's what they're about. So,
but it's just not transparent. I find it very not transparent.
They've never been transparent. But I guess the question I would say is like, what do you expect? And I say that because I just try to be pragmatic about it. And the other thing is that at least we know what they're doing, so you can make your decisions based on where you want to spend your money and what you want to buy. If you don't like products that are being marketed so hard, you don't have to buy them.
I don't.
No, you don't, and hopefully you don't. It's one thing to criticize, but it's another thing to reward criticism, which is what a lot of people in the hobby do. They complain, and then they just give the credit card over, because they don't have the self-control. Or they're addicts or whatever it might be.
And it's, I'm going to push a little because that complaint is a sensitive topic, because people say I complain, but I think I point out, instead
I'm not talking about you. I wasn't talking about you.
Okay.
I'm not.
But still, we get labeled as complain. It's like, we're not complaining. We're telling you what we think is not a good, it really bothers me how they market the product in all the aspects I just said.
No, I mean, because they're trying to generate sales. So, that's why the simple question, that middle section on the yellow screen here, why do I think they market the product so hard? In order to generate income, revenue, and profit. That's why they market it so hard. It's really as simple as that.
Well, it should be more transparent. It should be more real than here's the big hit or the big card every time. This sold for 20 grand. This sold for 500 grand.
How many customers are actually hitting these big cards? I think they're selling a fantasy, and I think that there's more disappointment out there than there is celebration. I think there's way more people that are spending their hard-earned money on products and are getting, whether they're becoming depressed or whether they're becoming financially insecure because they're literally wasting money on product that is not delivering what they're seeing online. So
yes.
But listen, when I see a
That's right.
McDonald's commercial, that Big Mac looks way better than it looks when I order it at the restaurant. You know, look at the pictures in any
Yeah,
restaurant
but you're
menu.
turning to
They're
okay,
way
fine, but
nicer.
You're turning
Way
to
nicer.
something that's dirty and saying, "Hey, this is dirty." So we could be, you know, you're comparing something that is it is, you know, it's false advertising or fake advertising.
I mean, like at the end of the day, you're never getting a burger at McDonald's that looks like the menu or the commercial. Never, never, never. With sports cards, some people are
A burger's $5.
Some people are hitting the lottery, but not everybody. So I think what I think the big thing is that the lack of transparency that I think is egregious are just the odds of hitting something. And who does that come down? Is that on Fanatics and Upper Deck, or is that or whoever else, Panini, or is that on the LCSs, or is it on the breakers, or is it on the repackers? Who is it on to be transparent about what they are selling?
Apparently,
and I would argue
nobody.
the answer is all of the above. It's all of the above.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. You're right, and they're all leaning one, but yes, but it really is one of my biggest. It's just hard to watch sometimes. Arena Club did it the worst. Arena Club by far hired actors to hit a G. You know, it's digital, and they just did it the worst. Let's see the second one I have for you. And Jeremy, thank you for taking it on. I'm not going to say ambush, but I haven't got to have this conversation with you. And you're very well
on
informed.
anything. I can handle anything you throw at me, Jason.
So it bothers me that over the past year and a half, or maybe year, we really have seen a new PSA business model. And I don't think it's great for the general hobby, all the different buckets. And so I'm just curious your take on the new, you know, they're just getting into so many different avenues instead of just grading a card.
Again, these guys are in business to make money, and they will make money in any way that they can. So with that said, as a consumer, as a hobbyist out there, I get to decide where my money goes and how I deploy those funds into the hobby that I love. How do I buy cards? I don't send cards into PSA for grading. I've done a few through ComC in the last year, but that's about it. Cheap cards, it's quick and easy. That's it. I have not sent a card to I've sent one card to PSA the traditional way, probably in the last 10 years that I've a single card. And the reason is because I'd rather know what they're going to grade it before I do, because I just don't believe that they're consistent enough. And I don't believe that my cards are going to get the grades at a consistent enough rate that it's worth my money to put the money out there. So yeah, I mean, their business model, they have several business models. I think they are going in many different directions. While they're trying to scale and go international with grading, I don't know how their human resources are, but I have to think they're stretched thin. And I think that likely, you know, everything is going to suffer until they get enough people into everything. And I wish they would just focus on their core competency, which should be grading cards.
Yeah.
But,
yes.
But listen, I'm not the boss there. So what do I do as a consumer and somebody who's in this hobby? I just accept the reality of the environment that I am living in, and I proceed accordingly, and I behave accordingly as to how I can make it work for myself. That's what I do. And then I talk about it on my show sometimes, and we get into it. But
I think it's bigger though than just you, me, or the person. I think some of this stuff with the buyback, the consigning, the mystery packs, it's big. It creates different comps, or it creates an employee could be nefarious. Like there's so many. It really, I think it's just bigger than you and I when it comes down to this new business model.
It's bigger than us. Yeah,
it's
definitely bigger than us. And I agree. I mean, I had that same comment on my show when they announced that they were becoming the repack police. With Jeff Wilson's Grizzled Grails, or whatever that product's called, I said, listen, I don't know that Nat Turner and Ryan Hogue are in there kind of identifying the best repack in the case and letting the people know at Cards HQ. I don't think that's happening at the executive level, but it does open the opportunity for other people to exploit the situation. And I brought that up with somebody at PSA who said, that's a good point. I'm going to take that back and make sure that that's not happening. Like, I happen to have the opportunity to have a conversation with somebody there. And so listen, I don't like it. And there's two things. There's also the perception that it could be happening. There's the potential. Whether it does or doesn't almost isn't well, the important thing. The important thing is that the perception that it could be happening and the fact that it could be happening, that's bad enough. So, I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of everything that I'm not a fan of everything PSA does. I'm a fan of fewer things than I am than I am. Like, I don't know how to articulate that, but yeah, I'm a fan of less things there that go on than
what is. So for me, I never had a reason to be like anti-PSA up until about the graded grails, and then I realized, okay, these the buyback program, and then
you weren't bothered by the inconsistent grading.
Sure, but there's no, I mean, that they're the big, yes, but not to a point.
Oh, but you're willing to accept it because everybody else does. So you were drinking the Kool-Aid too.
No, the inconsistent grading is a problem, but it's not like any of the other graders are just as why have we? This brings me to a great point that I want to ask you: is why have we just succumbed to the status quo? Why isn't there a breakdown of why a card got what? I mean, that would put everything to bed. There should be some sort, and it's almost crazy with the amount of money being spent that there's no breakdown.
Either they don't know, which I think. I mean, they've talked about graders notes, and Nat Turner said on my show, probably when they first bought it, I had him on my show going back to probably 2022. And if I recall, it's too much work. It's too much work, too much time. They can make more money not doing it. I mean, it's an assembly line. It's about volume. I think it's about volume, not so much about accuracy.
But to us, the collector, the investor, whatever, the art collect, whatever it is, that Griffey Upper Deck we follow every week, and right now it's 4,500. A year ago it was 2,800. But basically, you send in a Griffey that looks good. That guy that's grading your card decides whether. And Charles is called in. We'll get him on soon with us. 4,500 or 350, and it's just so it really is. That's a huge price gap. They have a lot of power in that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely they do. And who's we? Who's they? They have a huge power in that. Who's they? We don't even know who's grading our cards. It's a big secret. It's a big black box of. Yeah, I mean, listen, you're not. I get very frustrated talking about this because it's very frustrating, and you know the hobby has appointed PSA as the hobby gods, and that's not that's the hobby. That's this audience and every audience and. Every that's the collectors. The collectors have done that, and they and we complain about PSA. Yet they and we also pay the most money for their slabs. So the hobby's been drinking the Kool-Aid for a long time, and you know what's so good about PSA? Nothing, except everybody thinks they're so good. Yet they're a human grader. And listen. To the extent of like how big they are and how many employees they have and how many cards they're grading every single day, which is like way more than it used to be. They're probably doing the best they can, probably, but I don't think it's good enough, and I think they should slow down. But the problem is they try to slow down, so they extend turnaround times. People complain, as they should, or they increase prices to slow the inflow. People complain. It's a tough position for them to be in, but I don't have any sympathy for them because I also think that they should focus on precision. They should focus on accurate, consistent grading. And maybe they tried to, but they just haven't been able to.
Hell, I'm glad I brought these up with you, and thank you for being so genuine and real. But I'm gonna throw Charles on real quick with us, Jeremy. Is that okay?
I know you haven't, Dan.
Let's throw Charles. Charles, how we doing?
Oh yeah, I had to chime in when I hear PSA. I have to chime in.
All right, we're gonna move on. So I wanted to get you on because you've been waiting. So go ahead and
real quick. So it's come out. They did a podcast today. I think it was Hoge. He's the president of PSA, basically saying that we're going to revamp Beckett. We're going to make SGC better again. They're going to hire more graders. They're going to get all the stuff that we don't want to hear about, such as why are you buying cards and regrading them, or any number of things that you're doing to control the pop count. They don't address that. They just put up a smoke screen about nonsense that they created. They created the SGC mess by buying them and sitting them on the sideline and doing nothing with them, and then saying, oh, they've got an influx of vintage now that they're grading. That's why everything's so backed up and it takes longer to grade vintage. 71% decrease in grading. Okay, the numbers don't lie. That's bullshit. Okay, you said the same thing about SGC. You were going to revamp SGC. They're going to do the same thing with Beckett. SGC got sat down and was called a boutique company. They're going to do the same thing to Beckett. They're just putting up a smoke screen until the next big thing comes along that they can buy.
Charles, I'm so glad. I look at it as everyone look left at this big shiny new thing when they're doing something on the right. And it's interesting. You kind of see it the same way.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. It's a smoke screen and it's nonsense. And they're going to do the same thing to Beckett. They're saying, oh, we're going to change the stickers and the slabs and we're keeping the subgrades. Okay, cool. Do something productive. Like, I don't know, hire more graders. They're a $36 billion company. You can't find a warehouse somewhere and put 2,500 workers to grade your friggin' cars.
As Jeremy says, they're in a business right now to be profitable and make profit. And they've put themselves in a bad position.
Guys, they don't need to do any of these because the hobby keeps on cutting checks to them. So
it's not the hobby, it's the influencers that are influencing like the top 2% that are grading these.
A lot of it's TCG. A lot of it's not even sports cards.
And
more than half,
Pokemon.
60% is TCG. And I guarantee there's a huge influx of One Piece there right now.
Pokemon, it's all TCG, like Yu-Gi-Oh, One Piece, Pokemon. They're being graded like crazy. Sports cards have decreased in grading like 20-something%.
I saw 17%
maybe the sports card people are actually starting to speak with their wallets and they've stopped drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit. So maybe things are starting to change a little bit.
That's great. Charles, anything I want to ask Jeremy more about the auction term, the terms of service.
Sure, yeah, go ahead. You can move on.
All right, let's do it. You want to stay on?
Sure.
All right. Jeremy Lee, I'm sure he's okay with that. Let's keep going.
I mean, yeah,
all right, Mr. Jeremy, you did a whole, first of all, and we'll get to your questions. Give me about 10 more minutes. We'll get to your questions. Someone asked if the book came out yet. We'll start that. Did the book come out yet?
Not yet, but it's imminent right now.
Okay.
I'm actually it's got to do with auction house terms of service. There's one auction house that I'm still waiting to hear something back from. And once that's done, then the book is going to go to for like final assembly sort of thing.
This would be bad for the book, but good for the overall. I would love to see a site where you just have each company and, you tell us what do you give us a rundown. And then because people have a little more access to the site of those, and it would, but anyway, that would be bad for book sales. But yeah, I think it would be
okay. I got something cooking for what you're talking about.
Hey now. All right. What were a couple takeaways from the research on all that?
The takeaways are that a lot of there's a couple traditional auction companies are not based on eBay, and I think a lot of the hobby believes that traditional auction houses should run a lot like eBay in many ways. We've been conditioned by eBay as to how auctions should and do work in the hobby. Auction houses, the traditional ones, the ones that have been around since before the internet, and ones that are modeled like that, even more newer ones, they're actually modeled after the way live auctions ran in the back to decades and decades ago. And there's a lot of terms and conditions there that we're not aware of. The hobby is not aware of things that are going on at some auction houses.
That's right.
And some of them are actually really good. Some of them are trying to champion sort of a more
CIA.
Yeah, CIA and a couple others. They're trying to be more transparent with the policies. But I mean, there are some, there's something, the biggest thing is a concept called the active reserve. And the active reserve is troublesome for a lot of people in the hobby. What the active reserve is you can send a card to some auction houses. There are a few auction houses that just don't deal with reserves. They don't want to because they're a mess, as you probably know, or you'll find out. But you can send a card to auction and you can say, hey, I'm willing to give this to you, but only if you put a reserve on it. because they want to protect their bottom. They want to protect their bottom.
Is that
floor.
reserved hidden to the bidder?
The reserve amount is always confidential, and sometimes the existence of a reserve is not even disclosed until the end of the auction or somewhere at some point during the auction.
So
I'm sure
someone
there's
thinks
some-
they won it, but then they disclose it didn't meet the reserve.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, exactly. The active reserve, what that means is that let's say you have a card, you're going to send it to an auction house, and they're going to start the bid at $1,000, but your reserve is $10,000. So the first bid comes in for $1,000. A few bids come in, and let's say a bid comes in at $5,000. Well, and it's a legit bid. Collector Charles bids $5,000. Well, the reserve is 10, so it's not going to sell. If there's no more bids, it's the item reserve not met, item doesn't sell. But what happens is under the active reserve mechanism is that the system bids the next bid. Let's say it's $1,000 increment. Now the system's bid $6,000. Charles sees, oh, there's another bid, more interest. I'm going to bid $7,000, and the reserve's still not met. The active reserve, which is really the seller, it's really the seller's. But they call it the active reserve. So the active reserve now bids $8,000.
Oh my gosh. I was making sure I understood. I had to, that's crazy.
And Charles is like, oh, I got outbid again. I really want this card. I'm going to bid 8,500. So he bids 85. Active reserve bids 9. And then what I'm trying to get to the point is where Charles bids $9,000. Active reserve bids 9,500. Okay. So now the next bid is guaranteed to buy the item because the reserve is $10,000. So the next bidder bids $10,000, reserve met, item's going to sell for $10,000 at least. If there's more bids or not, now the active reserve stops bidding because that's just the way it works. And the item's going to sell to Charles for $10,000. Charles thinks that there's some other third party legit buyer out there bidding against him because it doesn't show that the bid doesn't register. It doesn't say you've been outbid by the reserve. No, it doesn't tell you that. And that's a big problem that I have with active reserve bidding. I want to know, and I think Charles would want to know, am I bidding against the computer? Like, am I bidding against the seller? Or am I bidding against a legitimate third-party buyer? I would be a lot more comfortable knowing, and Charles would be too, because you feel validated. Someone else is willing to pay this amount. That makes me feel like if I'm going to sell the car down the road, if I need to, I'm likely to get my money out of it at least. But instead, no, you're bidding against the seller, and it's called active reserve. And
insane. Let me ask you,
many platforms.
Yeah,
have
what
active
percentage of the? I think you just said 24. How many auction houses did you? I can't remember.
It's I think it's 30. I think it's 30 auction houses.
And what half of them have this thing? More.
It's more. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guarantee Golden uses it for sure.
Golden doesn't want to do reserves. They see reserves are also used for marketing. Like a lot of, so here's where it comes full circle though, guys. So now I'm not going to pick on Charles this time. I'm going to pick on Professor for a moment. So Professor has this card and it's worth $100,000 and he wants to sell it, but he wants $100,000 out of it. So he says, hey, auction house number 1, will you sell this for me? And they'll say, sure, we're going to start the bidding at $1,000. You're like, yeah, but I got to get my $100,000 out of it. They say, okay, well, the market will bear what the market bears. You say, well, I want to put a reserve of $100,000 on it. And they might say to you, well, we don't want to have a reserve. You say, okay, well, I'm going to go shop at the Golden, or I'm going to go shop at the Heritage or wherever. And then, so it's really the consigners in a lot of cases who are putting pressure on auction houses. They're pitting them against each other, and they're trying to get them to do these things to get the items. Now, I'm not saying that's any of us or you guys especially, but there are people in the hobby who have these cards and they don't want to risk getting less than they think they're worth. They don't want to risk selling them in a simple auction where there's no reserve and no simple just incremental bidding. So they pit the auction houses against each other and they try to get the best terms that they can. And one of those terms will be, well, okay, we'll put a reserve on it for you, which just kills an auction anyways if it's known. Like eBay reserves are known. I haven't seen one in years. I don't even know if they offer them anymore. But several auction houses do. Golden doesn't like doing them, but I'm sure that in certain cases, they use them very sparingly. They don't want to do them because they know it's just trouble. It causes trouble. But anyway,
I bet you if Logan Paul said, "Hey, I need to put a reserve on this," I guarantee you Golden puts a damn reserve on it.
well, yeah.
For
And
sure.
then there's another problem, which is when these consigners want guarantees, which is different than a reserve. Now it's like, I want a guarantee, and some auction houses will give a guarantee. So same example as before. Let's say they gave a guarantee of 100 grand, but collector Charles taps out at $5,000, and the active reserve is going to bet 6, and there's nobody else. The item doesn't sell because 6 grand was not a third-party buyer. It was the buyer. It was the seller bidding on his own item, basically through the active reserve mechanism. Now the auction house is stuck with the item. They have to pay the guy 100 grand for that item that was just proven in that moment on that platform and at that time that it's only worth 6 grand. Charles's max bid or whatever that was, 5 or 6 grand. Now they're basically out. They have the item. The auction house owns the item now. It's worth, at
Oh,
that
now
moment,
the auction house owns it? They pay. They end up paying the guarantee.
They made a guarantee. They gave a guarantee. The reserve wasn't met. They have to pay out the guarantee. Now they own the item. They're into it for 4 grand more than they did. Than their platform just proved it was worth. So now what do they do? What do they do with the item now? They don't want to list it right away and take a $4,000 loss. So this is where I speculate. I don't know what they do with these items from there. Do they send them to another auction house? Do they sit on them for a year, try and resell them? I don't know what happens.
Okay, so
from there.
active reserve is a fancy way of saying a little bit of shill bidding.
Yeah, I was about to say that sounds just like shill bidding to me.
It's
digital shill bidding.
Yeah, it's
It goes back to that transparency thing. There's just not enough.
it's worse than,
transparency.
but I think it's worse. It's almost worse than shill bidding because
Well,
I
at least
think-
there's a person that's shill bidding on the behalf. At least someone's there.
Yeah,
you
but
can
this
look
isn't
at.
such a mass. I mean, this is kind. It would be they're doing this often. It sounds.
the thing is that this is going to sound funny maybe, but like we all know that there's shill bidding. It's rampant. I call it the essence of shill. There's shill. Every card has the essence of shill in its value because it's so rampant out there, right? So when you're bidding on a platform that you know there's shill bidding going on, you at least know that there's some shill bidding going on. But when you are bidding against the active reserve, it looks like you're bidding against a real bidder, and you don't know. And the hobby in general doesn't know that you're bidding against, that you're just bidding against the seller in that case. And the auction houses will say, well, no, you're bidding against the reserve. The reserve was set by the seller. The reserve was set by you and the seller. So, I mean,
So he's
but
bidding
they
against
also say that
himself.
This
That's
is the
kind
way
of crazy
auctions
to
have
sound.
worked for decades. This is the way auctions have been set up for 150 years, and it's like accepted by a lot of the OGs in the hobby.
Well, even prior to internet, that's how live auctions go.
This is how, the only difference is that in a live auction, you can often see, you just have to turn your head, whose paddle went up, right? Was it the person behind? But even then, you don't know if they're a shill sitting there, right? They could still be a shill in the audience. You just don't know.
No,
But
that's
if you
going
know-
on, but an active reserve, or this silent reserve that people don't know that it has to hit, and they don't know someone that that basically someone's
lot
bidding
of-
against you is not real.
Right, but most auction houses, when there is a reserve at some point during the live bidding, not during the bidding, you do know that there is a reserve there. Some auction houses disclose it from the beginning, others disclose it the night before that there's a reserve on the item, and they will say. And in that case, if you've been a bidder, you better assume that and if the bidding is thin, you better assume that you've been bidding against the reserve itself, which is also against the seller.
I think that you have so much knowledge on this. I'm glad you're bringing it forward. Very happy about it. Do you yourself buy or sell on some of these auction houses?
Not sell, but I have sold a couple of items at auction, not traditional cards though, like other sorts of things. Like I sold some graded wrappers last year on Classic Auctions. It's a Canadian auction company. I've sold on
it's not
Fanatic.
something you do religiously. It's not something you do often. Yeah.
No. But I have bought cards. I bought cards at auction, at traditional auction houses a few times over the years. Like maybe I bought 6 cards from auction houses over the years.
Right. Very little.
It's the same concept, I think, as like vintage cars, right? Only it's a little more like you could actually haggle. Like someone would have a reserve on a vintage car or something, and they get close to it. It's like, okay, my reserve was 30,000 on it. You're at 25. You want to go 27.5 on it, and then they'll usually just haggle from there and determine whether or not they're willing to accept that price.
That's interesting.
With cards, it doesn't, because my uncle used to do this all the time. He used to get them like below reserve because they want to usually sell the car. If they're close enough to it, they'll go ahead and move it. But like if you're talking 5,000 to like 50,000 or 100,000, that's way off. So there has to be
yeah,
some
exactly.
kind of
I mean, you're right, Charles. Like the thing about it is that these reserve auctions, and again, it's not that rampant. Like it really isn't. Some of the biggest, like REA, they'll have a 4,000 item auction, and there might be 6 items with reserves on them. Like it's very thin that way. And I work with REA, so I know that because I've asked the president of the company, how many reserve items are there in the auction? I think the last one I did a show with him on, they had 3,800 items. I think he said there were maybe 13 that had reserves, something like that. So it's not that rampant out there, but their terms and conditions allow for it. And that's where you just have to know the rules of the game you're playing. The other thing I learned is that, again, we don't know the rules of the game because we don't read the fine print. If you read the fine print, you at least know the rules. Then you can decide whether or not you want to play in that arena or not. And I think that's super important. But back to what Charles was saying about the vehicle example, it's like these items with reserves are almost what they're doing. They're trying to double dip in a way. They're saying, listen, I could just put this out for sale with the buy it now price, but I'd rather be guaranteed that price, but also try and generate excitement by this auction environment with these bids that aren't even real bids, but it's going to make people think that they're real bids because that's what it looks like. And so it's all about getting as much money as they can for everybody. And auction companies are in the business of putting buyers and sellers together.
So it's two things. You go back to that, which is very true. And then my argument is like, it just needs to be more transparent. I have no problem, but
yeah, so
be transparent.
100%. Tell me that the bid that just came up against mine was a reserve bid, because it could come up instantaneous. Like Charles bids $5,000 and instantly you're outbid. Well, that could either be the active reserve or it could be somebody else's maximum proxy bid, but we don't know. Is this a legit third-party buyer or is this the active reserve? And I think we as bidders have the right to know who or what we're bidding against. That's
right. Is it auction house getting commission from this? Is it this? Is it that? You know, there's some things that have to be transparent, because if an auction house is getting some kind of commission from the sale, it's high end. You want to know.
They do. And the other thing, I was talking about the guarantee before. There's also a couple auction houses, and these are the ones who have been in the business, like where cards are like, maybe 1% of their overall auction business. But they have sometimes a financial interest in the item at bid. Maybe they're a part owner of it, or maybe they gave a guarantee, in which case they can bid. They reserve the right to bid on those items, but they will tell you that they're bidding. There will be a little symbol or something that will say that an interested party might be bidding on the item itself. An interested party is someone who has an ownership or a financial interest in the item. It might be the owner of the item. It might be, some items are sold from somebody dies, it goes into an estate, so the trust is selling items. Maybe you're a beneficiary of that trust. Maybe you're the grandchild of some rich dude who died and left some big cards, and you can bid on that item maybe as well. Maybe you want to buy it, so because the only way to get it from all your cousins is to buy it yourself. But in that case, the professional auction companies will let the other bidders know that you might be up against an interested party or someone with
buyer's
financial
premium
interest.
is what Dan's Vintage Cards just said.
What did he say?
A buyer's premium, Dan's Vintage Baseball PC.
He's talking about the commission. He's talking about the commission at the auction houses. Yeah, I have comments turned off. I can't see the comments right now.
Charles, I'm going to do some questions from the chat. Charles, I thought you brought great insight. Anything you want to throw out before I let you go?
No, it's just the same old nonsense. I mean, with PSA, like, seriously, guys, we can be the influence in this hobby and just simply either don't grade or grade with another company. There's so many grading companies out there. If you want to get your card authenticated or certified, you don't have to use PSA just because Jeff Wilson tells you to.
All right, let me throw something out. I have some One Piece cards. Yeah, but PSA is
hope
also
not.
going to bring. I mean, they are, and it's not that. It's very hard to take market share. Uber is Uber, and Lyft is Lyft, and there's nobody else. Like when we know Pepsi and Coke, it's very hard to take away that. So some of it is just PSA is the leader, and I have all these one-piece cards I want to grade, and if I send them to the 3 leading companies, they're all owned by collectors, and I don't really want to do CGC, and those are my options. I mean, that's basically it.
Yeah, that's what you want to do, Professor. I mean, that's what you want to do, but you understand, like you doing that, you're kind of like, oh, I feel dirty doing that. But I mean,
It's the self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like we said, you do we complain, but and the greater I'm not talking about anyone on this
the
screen.
education system, and there's nothing I can do. I mean, and what am I supposed to not be an educator? Like I could complain about things because we live in 2026 in a capitalistic society. And so you're right. I can say, but nothing's going to change. And so I think instead of complain, it's making people aware because there's 80% of the content sensationalized or a push or buy, sell, buy. And so I don't look at it as complaint as having the conversation, making people aware, but it's not going to change shit. I mean, that's just the world we live in. We could talk about how bad Fox and CNN are, and they're still going to get views. I mean, it's just how it is.
But in that community, what's that card company that you have, Professor?
Oh, what's that now?
What's the card that you have? The
one-piece card, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, the one-piece card. That's what they're
Okay.
called. So TCG, you have CGC. They have the Black Label 10. That would sell as much as a PSA 10 in that category. Tag, they sell just as good as they would in PSA category.
I don't know. I think
Sports
these
cards are
one-piece
different.
collectors don't know, and they know PSA is the thing, and they don't have a clue, and that's just what they tag. I went to a show this weekend. I like the idea of what they're doing, but you don't see tag graded cards at the show at all.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. But you could be the change, Professor.
Hey now.
You could be the change.
Charles, I'm going to leave you on that. I'm going to do some questions with Jeremy. We're going to get out of here. Charles, thank you for calling in.
All right. Thanks a lot, Professor.
Hey, it was great. Okay, some questions for the chat. And Jeremy, this was fun. I thought it was a very good conversation. Let's start from the top. Where are we at? Throw questions. When can I retire from all my 1990 Don Russ error cards?
You missed your chance.
Good answer. Silly question. Are there any questions about your feelings about box breaks and how addictive they are for you? From KK.
They're not addictive. I don't know if this question's for me, but they're not addictive to me. I haven't gone into a box break in 10 years.
Or how about just addictive for a 19-year-old kid? Or
I learned my lesson when it comes to breaking wax. In 2008, I stopped. I don't break wax. It's I'd rather buy the cards I want. It's been very good for my collection over the past 20 years to just buy what I want and not buy the blind boxes.
We could say that all day, but do you think the new collector or person a year just has to learn from himself and get beat up over a year or two, and then finally they make the choice?
They don't have to, because they can learn from there's the internet now, and there's podcasts and there's YouTube. You can just listen to other people, but there's too many addicts out there. It's very addictive, and there's too many. There's gambling is entertainment for a lot of people, whether you're an addict or you're just gambling because you can afford to. I don't know. Are they going to stop buying group? They're going to have to literally go broke or go dead before they're going to stop buying. And that's just sad. It's a sad state of affairs.
And I think I think the finance thing, I think that is happening to people. Don't you? I mean, I hear it from people. It's just not,
People are losing their marriages, they're losing their families, they're losing their lives because I'm not saying it's happening all the time.
Sure,
but of course, and we're not hearing about most of it, I'm sure.
I agree. Someone asked Jeremy, do you think the Winter Olympics will spike the hockey card market? Banut.
I don't know. I mean, maybe a little bit. If the US wins, then sure. Canada doesn't need a win.
Does the US have a chance at winning?
Yes, absolutely. Sure, absolutely they do.
I know you're a hockey guy, and I just one sport I don't follow. So this question's also for you from Ninja. Is Alex Ovechkin the most uninvested in player in the big four sports compared to his talent, production, and legacy in the sport?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely, and he's, his cards have come down. He broke the goals record last season, and he's still adding to his record like every week. So yeah, I'd say I don't know if he's of the all four, but he's definitely not getting the love that
How come? What do you
relatively
think?
I think he would deserve.
How come? Why do you think that is?
Because Connor Bedard and Macklin
Good
Celebrini
answer. Good
have
answer.
diverted interest. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, that's what I would think.
What percentage of your collection is hockey?
Like if you look at just card count, it's probably well over 95%. But if you look
No
from
shit. Oh wow.
yeah, but
Okay.
from a value perspective, it's a lot less. It's probably I would say 50%.
Okay. But
Maybe
what,
even
most
less.
of your cards are hockey.
Oh
Just
yeah,
not the
I've
big
got
money
thousands
cards.
I've got like 15 football cards, and I've got like 40 baseball cards, and I've got like 25 or maybe 30 basketball cards, and I've got binders and boxes of hockey cards. Yeah.
What is the top of your cardboard want list this year, Jeremy Lee from Whitetail?
A 1975 Topps Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is his
Interesting.
first
75 top.
Yeah, it's his first because
Laker
I don't
card?
collect,
Is
I
that
don't
his
collect
first
like tall
Lakers?
boys and oversized. It's his first Lakers card. I want his first Laker. That's the Kareem card that I want in my collection. So that is atop my list. I'd like to get a T206 Ty Cobb. Yeah, there's a few more for sure. Just not coming to mind right away.
Mine is and I think I'll pick it up at some point in 2026, is what is it, 1980 Topps Magic Bird Dr. J, but I want it, triple autoed. Actually I bid one for last night. I didn't win. I didn't want to go that high, but that is the card I want in 2026.
I also really want to get a Stan Musial 48 Leaf and also his 49 Bowman. I love those Musial.
Beautiful.
cards.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hardcore card collector asks, is there, I think this is in relation to the hobby spectrum, is there a paid app service or paid membership?
Oh, no, it's not. It's free.
Hell yes. Do you think it'll always kind of stay free?
I think that the basic stuff will always be free. Yeah. I didn't I don't have any interest in like the mission is not to charge people for this. It's a free service. I don't know what else to say.
That's great. This is actually a really good question from Fresh Prince. He asked, this is for both of us. What aspect of your channel do you each admire, respect the most about each other? And I'll go first. I don't watch all the lives, and it's a little out of my realm of how I collect or what I do. But I respect that. Look how knowledgeable Jeremy, if you want some knowledge, and I don't always agree, I don't always agree with the promoting and the hyping, but I just think the guy is a wealth of knowledge. Some of the guests you have on it feels like more of an industry show to me sometimes. I
do bring on my share of industry people, that's for sure. Yeah.
But you do it. You've done it for a long time now. You've stuck with it. You're putting out other things. You're trying to make I found the hobby spectrum ambitious and unique. I mean, that's what I find it. So I respect the knowledge, a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. For your channel, I respect, I enjoy the rawness of the show. And I also like that you're very open to learn. You know what you don't know, and you don't pretend.
That's right.
You don't pretend to know more than you do, and you're open to being educated. I respect that about you.
I appreciate that. That was a good question. Do you, Grail Hunter asks, good to see you, Grail Hunter. Oh, I haven't shouted out. We saw Bargain Boxer. Did I already shout that out? I couldn't believe I saw Bargain Boxer. Good to see you, Bargain Boxer. Do you do any vintage or just modern for now? I actually don't know what your hockey or collection was. I thought it was mainly vintage.
1888 to 2026. Like I collect I like all cards pretty much.
Do you have a current hockey player you're collecting?
Well, not really. Like I like Sidney Crosby cards. I like so many. Like Jason, I collect like 30 different players probably. My favorite player of all time is Teemu Selanne. Played for the Winnipeg
Sharks.
Jets.
I think he was on the Sharks.
He was on the Sharks.
He was good. He was really good
there back in like 2000 when he was there. And he's my all-time favorite professional athlete. So, but my collection of him is probably 20 cards. Like I'm more of a quality over quantity collector when it comes to players. I don't master collect anybody. I'm very specific. I'm a precisionist, Jay. I go after certain cards of certain players?
For me, something neat that I might not know, maybe you do. I have a collection of every NBA rookie card of it. As long as they play 500 games, even on the bench, which means 6 years of a bench player. It's not, you could get a lot of those guys cheap, right? So it's something fun way for me to, so I do collect modern, but only because I'm adding to the rookie, and they could be quarter cards, nickel cards.
Cool.
Dollar,
I've never heard that approach before. So that's a thing. There's always so many approaches that
I'm trying to get the all the Hall of Famers. I want their autograph rookie. Will that ever happen? I'm not going to get certain players, but it's a fun way to keep me. I go in spurts, but yeah, it's a fun way to stay relevant and not have to break the bank.
That sounds fun. Absolutely.
Jeremy, this was awesome. I had fun. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, it's a great time, man. It's fun chatting. Absolutely, man. I've had a good time. I'm open to any more questions, thoughts, whatever. I can handle. And I have it on private chat, so I haven't been watching the comments coming through. So I as a live streamer, I know what it's like. I just wanted to focus on you and Charles when he was here, and so I'm open to whatever you or your audience.
We'll do one last topic that I have, because it's the other big gripe that I feel I relate it to a new GM or a coach in football basketball. We're 2026. You have 2 or 3 years to make your stamp. Even the president now, maybe it's always been that way. It's now. You're not thinking about the future. So number one, overprinting just turned me off to buying the modern or ultra modern. About 17 or 18, I kind of just, I said, whatever. And I also would say that they're not thinking about the future with all the parallels and all the overprinting, because they outdo each other. They want to outdo the past year by this next big Ohtani and the next big Ohtani. Eventually it waters down all the other rare Ohtanis. So I find the overprinting just mind boggling.
Well, then it's only going to get worse. So, well, listen, they're 10xing the hobby. You've got Mr. Wonderful hitting the headlines constantly at $13 million cards. You got the Ken Golden show reaching a worldwide audience. You got Tom Brady opening stores in every state. They're gonna grow the hobby.
Crumble. I want to watch it crumble. I love sports cards. I just want to watch that shit crumble.
It's going to be a while, I think, because they are doing. I think that they are doing what Michael Rubin set out to do, which is 10x the hobby. And I'm not saying they've 10x it or that it's going to happen right away, but I'm saying that they are a ways down that path already. And as they grow the hobby, they are going to have to print more cards. And as they print more cards, the products are going to become more watered down. And as the products become more watered down, the hits should become a little bit more valuable. And that's what will keep the breakers in business. And that's what will keep everybody in business. That's what will keep people buying, because you want to get those hits. So it's just going to become, I think, or they'll have to add more parallels and more inserts. And then people will say we're in parallel hell, and
we are. This is right now. This is now.
Only going to get worse. So brace yourselves.
Jesus. Let me ask. Okay, that led me to what was the other one? The auto. There's so many autos. That wasn't the one. I had something else I wanted to throw. You spun me off on, but I kind of forgot. But autos all the time. That wasn't sticker autos. I'm trying to think. Too much overprinting. Yeah, I feel like we're there now. I feel like they're
not there yet. We're not. You think we're in overprinting now, guys? Oh, you just wait.
Really.
Well, obviously they have to. If you're gonna grow a market, you have to supply the market.
But like you see some of this retail stuff sitting now. Like the dynamics change, I guess. We're assuming that I don't know, retail sitting. That's one thing we're seeing.
Well, if retail is sitting, then yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't follow them. I don't follow the retail market.
Yeah.
So I can't speak to that, but I'm sure certain products are not hitting the target. And so what they'll have to do is analyze. Like, they've got some smart people working there, right? They're going to be able to figure out what products don't work. They will try to find a way to tweak them and get back up there. But again, I think there's going to be more new people entering the hobby or coming back into it with their kids and going to the retail spots and buying boxes of cards, hoping to hit these big hits that they're seeing people hit on social media. And they're going to have to feed that. And if they don't, then there's going to be some correction that'll happen. But I just don't. I
feel like
them
they're
bringing-
feeding the whales. I feel like breakers are calling up, hey, buy 10 of my spots. I don't think it's, I work with kids. I don't think if any of them go to card shops, it's for Pokemon. I mean, I feel like some of it is so, it's a certain market that's maybe keeping it going. And you're saying it's the youth. I don't know if that's the case. And I could be wrong. I mean, I
just
definitely
saying
be
that
wrong.
What I'm saying is that with what's going on with the Tom Brady, with the celebrities being out there in public on social media, we live in a social media world now, and the more that those signals are being sent out by idols, by celebrities that people idolize and that young people idolize, and again, even with the Ken Golden show, that is reaching a whole new audience of people who are like, oh yeah, sports cards. I forgot about that, right? So there are more people coming in, and I think there's going to be more. And listen, these
People
guys
are going to lose money. People are going to lose money.
Oh, they're totally, absolutely, they're going to lose money. If these, yeah, I mean, I think absolutely some people are going to lose money, but yeah, man, it's a vicious circle. It's a tough situation for everybody, I think, right now.
Jeremy, thank you for coming on. I had a blast. I hope maybe in a month or two we could try this again.
Yeah, we'll get you on my show. I saw Hobby Champs, who's in my chat a lot, asked about that. We'll get you on my show here. Yeah, there it is. We'll get you on in due course here.
That would be fun. I haven't gone out and done any shows really as couple, so that would be fun.
As a couple, we're not a couple, but I'm happy to have you on.
Only a couple. I've only done a couple. Jeremy, man, have a great night.
I do believe you're single though, right? So, but hey, you're not my type.
Don't worry, neither are you. We're good. Have a good night, Jeremy.
Right. Take care, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, that was fun. That was great. That was a lot of fun. I had a good time. We did a first hour all me, second hour with Jeremy. I thought he tackled all the issues I wanted to go over. I'm glad we got to hear his take. It wasn't one-sided or biased. I thought it was very good. Rhonda said she had a really long day today. I do want to make the Rhonda wrap up how we finish or close shows. So I think next week, Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll make sure to have Rhonda at the end, highlight some comments, go over a couple points. We did 2 hours tonight. I don't have a ton else. Let's see if I have anything else on there. We had over 120 most of the night, a little smaller than recently. That's quite all right. There's Jeremy Lee, Sports Card Live. Mainly just does lives, do a few videos here and there. I mean, I'm sure you know who Jeremy Lee is, but not as many videos. Let's see. I have a couple videos I want to work on. We were looking at this. I still don't understand. I kind of want to understand this before we go. I'm gonna have to look at it off air, but I can't even click now. It's because this is the base 96 SPX, and then this is the record breakers, and there's just, I don't know. I did tell Blue Red Master if he waited the entire show, you've all been waiting for it. I told him we'd throw him on. So he thinks the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. I don't think that's a terrible take. They're the money favorite. He also had John Morant getting traded today to, I don't remember who, but that's Magic maybe. Blue Red Master, give us your best. How you doing?
I think I know who are going to be the future GOATs in 20 years.
List them off.
First off, I think Juju Watkins will be better than Caitlin Clark.
Juju Watkins?
And then next off, yes.
All right. Next?
I fully believe that.
All right, next.
And then also next, Bijan Robinson will be the GOAT running back.
All right, next.
And then Jackson Smith-Njigba will be the GOAT wide receiver.
It's Travis, right?
And then Tyler Show might be the next.
I let him come on. Maybe you're mad. I told him I would remove him. Come on. Travis, Blue Red Master. Go. This is what I'm saying. People are going to lose a lot of money. People are going to lose money. Blue Red, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate you being here every night. I appreciate your comments on the videos. And, you know, none of those guys are going to be the GOAT. None of them. I appreciate everybody here. We did, I thought tonight was really fun. I enjoyed last night. We got Cardtell here. Give us a scoop, Travis. I let him go. Maybe you're mad. Is he still here? Let's throw him on. Blue Red Master. They want more. They want more. Give us more. Who else you got? Is he still here?
Tyler Show might be the next Tom Brady because there's a good chance that he could be really good in the playoffs next year.
I'm going to say he's the next Trent Dilfer. Not even.
Nah, I think you're wrong, dude.
Where are you calling out of? Where do you? What state?
By the way,
what state do you live? Uh-oh.
By the way, Miss Washington.
Oh, Washington.
And I know exactly who's. And I know exactly which quarterbacks are not going to win a Super Bowl in their career at all.
Will Joe Burrow win a Super Bowl?
No, he will not.
Will Josh Allen win a Super Bowl?
He might.
Josh Allen.
There's
He
a
might.
good chance. He
Justin Fields.
Nope, he won't.
Last one, Caleb Williams.
Yes, he will win a Super Bowl, and I know that Justin Herbert will not win a Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence won't win a Super Bowl. Jordan Love is a fake franchise quarterback who should be traded.
So Caleb Williams over them all.
Yes.
All right, Greek, you have a great night. He's caught up in the hype. Hey, Greek, I want to, or no, excuse me. Blue Red Master, if we didn't stay on for you, Will Greer would have never thrown $5 at us. Will Greer, been a viewer since forever, probably 3 years. Hello, sports card investors. Will Greer, thank you. We got Greek Okie, been a member for 3 months. What's going on, Green Monkey? Green Monkey, Greek Okie. We're waiting on those Garbage Pail Kids. I want to see those Garbage Pail Kids. Guys, have a great night. Ladies, have a great night. Thank you, Frank, for all your help. Thank you, Rhonda. Rhonda, get some sleep, rest. And thank you to Greek Okie, the members, Penny Sleeve, Steve, Big Mac Boy here before the show, here till the end. Jim's Holes become a regular. Some other, I saw we saw Orlando. There's Petty. Petty was here. Banute, Cardi, Thos, who's still here? David, my guy, Bargain Boxer. Good to see you. Let's see. That's about it. All I'm seeing in the Stone Collector, the Hammer. Guys, you have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. I know I will. And we'll do it again next week. Have a great weekend.